It basically stops in the middle of the action to be a Skittles commercial.
Oh my God, yeah.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods, the Shazam sequel that you never knew you needed in your life. It's getting wildly mixed reviews, but it is out there in theaters this week, and we have some thoughts. Alonso, please tell them about it.
You are very menacing. I just want you to know that.
Shazam is back, and the whole Shazam family, although they don't call themselves that, because we enter with this movie and they still don't have names for themselves. They're still kind of making it up and figuring it out. And they're also sort of apparently learning how to be superheroes without any guidance from the Justice League or anybody else, because they kind of screw up a lot and are sort of known affectionately locally as the Philadelphia Fiascos, because they, save lives, but also sometimes damage property. Oops. One of the things that we find, well, I don't want to get into spoilers. Okay. I'll just say that for reasons, we open with this powerful staff of the gods that is on display at a museum in Greece. And who should show up? Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, who are its owners, ? Mm-hmm. And basically turn everybody there into stone and are on a mission of vengeance to get back at Djimon Hounsou, the wizard who gave their godly powers to young Billy Batson in the previous movie. And as Billy is grappling with imposter syndrome and wondering if he even wants these powers, if he's any good at them, and worried about the dissolution of his makeshift family, given that this is a kid who's been abandoned by his real family on multiple occasions. In come these two powerful figures, and possibly a third one, to get those powers back and fight.
So I had fun at this.
I did too.
I thought it was lively, and it mixed the action and the comedy better than a lot of movies that try to do that.
Absolutely.
Better than a lot of, DC movies on the whole don't really try to be this light.
Yeah,
but this does a good job of that, though, I thought.
This is very much an outlier of the DC movies, but okay, here's the thing. This is what I'm saying, this as a compliment. And I think this is why for a lot of people, they don't like these movies. Mm-hmm. If I had a 7 or 8 year old kid who wanted to see a superhero movie, I would start them with these.
Yeah.
Because these feel, I think, designed to be more kid friendly, much in the way that the original comics were. I can never get over the fact that in the comics, his name is Captain Marvel, but we can't do that in the movies for obvious reasons.
But there's a joke, there's a Captain Marvel reference in this movie to acknowledge that.
Yes. But I feel like these movies have kind of a lightness of tone, but they still manage to throw some stakes in, which is, a cool balance to work from. I know you said in the short that you recorded that you really liked Zachary Levi's sort of the way he channels this kid. And that worked for me in the first movie, but in this movie, Billy is almost 18. It's part of the plot that he's maybe about to age out of being in foster care. And he's still kind of playing him like he's a dorky, 12-year-old.
14-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one other part of that too is he's so fearful and so reluctant. And as you say, so clinging to this family that he has when he's about to age out of the foster system. I wonder if he's stunted in that way because of it, clinging to the youth that is eluding him day by day here.
I think the MVP of this movie is Dylan Grazer.
He's really funny. Great timing.
Who plays Freddy. Very funny, but also I think has maybe a more interesting arc in a way in terms of what he needs / wants out of being a superhero versus his own life. But I think for the most part, I think the kids all get something to kind of play around with, some character type or personality or whatever. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are having a very good time. It's basically do you know what Panto is?
No.
It's a Christmas tradition in the UK where they'll do Aladdin or Snow White or some sort of kind of storybook thing as a local theater production, and some famous person will play one of the big roles and super ham it up. Okay. And it's very silly, and everybody knows it's very silly, and it's just all designed to be kind of goofy. And Helen Mirren is basically pantoing in this movie, and I'm here for it,
I think we can say that Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu and Rachel Zegler are all connected in this thing. I think that's not a spoiler.
Yes.
And that's a really interesting dynamic too, because each of them brings a really different screen persona to this. all of which are unexpected but blend nicely with each other. So that was a nice surprise to see these three actresses in particular in this big superhero spectacle. And we know from Helen Mirren being in F9 that like she's down for the big dumb franchise movie.
Sure.
And she like elevates it, but knows that she shouldn't elevate it too much.
Too much,
right?
exactly. But at the same time, like as goofy as all of this is, they are genuinely villainous, and you worry that, oh, our hero is not going to be able to overcome them because they are really powerful and they're really like wise and old, and you know, they're not just there to be run over. Like these are challenging antagonists.
Right. And I think we can say also, because it's in the trailer, the big set piece with the bridge is very well done. Like I found that very realistic and like detailed, and you are in the middle of it as this bridge collapse is occurring. And I thought the effects there in particular, but all throughout, were very well done.
Yeah, especially like at some point we encounter some mythological beasts, and I think that could have looked really cruddy. And I saw this in IMAX, and I thought it looked good. You know,
I thought it seemed pretty seamless as well.
Yeah.
So some things that I have a problem with: it's a little too long. It has like 2 or 3 endings too many, as they always do. It basically stops in the middle of the action to be a Skittles commercial.
Oh my God. Yeah. The product placement for Skittles in this movie is off the hook. Also, too many, Jalo references. There's a character credited as like Dr. Dario Bava. And then later during one of the big scenes, like where there's a big fight in downtown Philadelphia, there's a big sign on a building that says Fulci. It's like, come on. All right. Calm down.
Yeah. There's a Gatorade. I mean, all these movies, of course, have product tie-ins. Like, I guess
the
we're just
Skittles
used to
one
it
is
by
pretty
now.
shameless.
The Skittles one is egregious, but then there's one point at which Mary is like in the background, like all of a sudden she's got a Gatorade. Like, where'd she get a Gatorade from?
Magic.
The young actress who is the young version of Megan Good is so cute with the Skittles commercial. Like, I almost kind of like wanted to forgive it, but I rolled my eyes. I think I might have audibly groaned when that happened.
Yeah. Because it's like they do it a little, and it's like it works. And if, like the first time you don't even know that it's product placement, you just think it's a gag, and then it comes up again later, like okay, fine, whatever. And then it's like, oh, this is a plot point now. Like not since the Krispy Kremes in the Power Rangers movie, I think, has been this shameless.
Totally. Of course, you guys know to stay through the credits. There's a mid-credit sequence, and then there is one at the very, very end. They both mean something, so stick around. People are not enjoying this movie. It's getting wildly mixed reviews, but I had a good time. I do enjoy Zachary Levi and do enjoy the levity of these, that it's not all doom and gloom like so many DC movies. And I know that's what's going to make a lot of folks who love DC hate this because they want it to be Zack Snydery and doom and gloomy, and I kind of like that they're different. I agree. I like that these movies are like brightly colored. They're bright in all of the ways, you know, like the cinematography is not shadowy. There's a lot of primary colors on display, and they have a lightness of tone. And I think there's, you know, obviously in the pre-James Gunn era where he's going to sort of like codify everything, I think there was room in the world for like the Snyder version of this kind of thing and this movie, although them trying to also have a kind of Marvel shared universe is confusing, not just in terms of tone, but also like, why is nobody teaching these people how to be better superheroes? And why is the Justice League mysteriously absent when there's suddenly a dome over Philadelphia? You know, like there's just, you either don't do that stuff or you at least throw in a line that explains, oh, they're in another dimension. They couldn't make it, you know, something. Well, we'll get more. There's also a very cute thing involving a pen.
Yes.
That I thought was very clever the whole way through. All right. I'm saying 7. I had fun.
I said 7.5. I had a good time. I like the Shazam movies. I don't know where their future lies exactly. The closing credits things don't help in that regard. But, you know, I suspect we haven't seen the last of these folks.